This is the post-event press conference for EFC 124 from the World Sports Betting Arena, Johannesburg, South Africa.
Another great evening of fights. I'm so glad I got to see those fights. Some incredible fights and yielded some performance bonuses we need to go through. Brandon Santos secures himself a performance bonus. Sisa Jungula for that epic overhand right knockout, which I thought was mad. Benedito, you get a performance bonus, buddy. Well done. What a finish. Ngamntwini gets a performance bonus. And Zondi. And the reason those two get performance bonuses is they were right up there with Fight of the Night. Right up there. But that's is coming.
All my fights are done in the first round. Give them, man.
Okay, and Badat gets a performance bonus. Fight of the night goes to Yemba and Gonzalez. Where's Stephen? I know he was in the crowd here. Man, you put on a hell of a clinic there. That was from the heart. That was a mad, mad fight. Thank you very much. Takes two to tango. Let's kick it over to the media.
I think I'm going to start with the defending champion who just won his title back. I'd be remiss if I did not start with you, Zakir. Congratulations on retaining your title. Now, you went up against an unknown prospect in the EFC in terms of Segun Ogunuki. How was it being that dominant in this win? And what does that mean for you as a fighter right now in the EFC? What next?
These fights are the most dangerous. The ones that people rule out. It's the guys that say don't have a shot. That's been the downfall of many a fighter before me. So when you get those opportunities, you've got to be as respectful of them as any other fight. The man's got power. He's a 3-time national kickboxing champion. So you can't, everyone was building it up. I was acting to demolish him. I couldn't let myself drink my own Kool-Aid. That is a very dangerous place to be. Respect it, be in the zone, but you've got to be able to take it like you would any other fight.
Now, we did hear you at the press conference saying that you know that your strength is on the ground. It is BJJ. You did take him on the feet. You were striking with him. You were dominant, but you still won it on the ground. Do you think you can win your next fight striking?
No, I can't say that. Like I said, MMA, it's everything. I can hit. I've knocked people out cold. He's a kickboxing multiple-time national champion. I hit him with a left, and he immediately cowered. So I'm not afraid to throw hands with anyone. If I touch your chin, you're going to feel it.
Last question for me. Now, you've defended your title twice now. Who do you want next? Who do you think can possibly challenge you for this title or give you a challenge for this title, or do you want something else? What's next for you?
I'm going to take the next biggest opportunity. If, like we had Peace Ngopane as the next one, I'll step in the cage with him. If there's an international company that we set up with, that's my lifelong dream. If the big ones come knocking, I'm going to go there. I think the South African guys put in the work. Peace has tried and is doing very well. If that's what's next, then I will step in there with anyone and throw hands.
So what Zach's talking about there is we actually lined up Henry Fadipe, former contender. I think he was a champion in EFC and was an incredible athlete. So it just didn't come to fruition in this fight, but he's on the cards and he's keen, man. He's keen to come and fight you.
Question is for Thimna. Thimna, a huge build-up to this fight. I mean, Sibusiso got you to swear at him on stage. And the fight went the way it did, extremely dominant. And then there were still words between you after. Just give us an insight into how you're feeling about all of that, about that antagonism to start with, about your performance, and how you're feeling about Sibusiso now.
It was honestly an interesting fight week. I've never experienced that sort of what's the word I'm looking for? That sort of hostility. So that was interesting to process. The fight itself was a really good fight. He pushed me to my limits. He really gave it to me in the third round, and all respect to him. Antics after the fight. You know, it was a lot of bad blood going into this fight, so it was sort of just a release of energy. We actually had some words after the fight in the back. It's all respect, you know. At the end of the day, I am a martial artist. before the fight, after the fight, there's always going to be bad blood. But all respect to Sibusiso, he really, if more than anything, he really pushed me, and I have to give him respect to that.
So I just got to ask here, we saw in the third round that you were a bit relaxed. So I just want to ask, was that part of your strategy to take him on the first and second round and then relax in the third round?
I'm going to be honest, that was definitely not part of the plan. I was tired in the third round. I was gassed in the third round. But I was confident. I was confident. I was dominant in the first 2 rounds. Not the mindset you want to have in the third round. You always want to finish strong, but I had to use what I had, and I really had no juice left in the third round.
So you just beat a title contender, former title contender. What's next for you?
Hopefully a title shot. If not, you know what? Honestly speaking, if I'm being honest, I'm not really in a rush. I'm a martial artist. I'm here to improve myself in every performance and to also just give everybody a good show. You know, I'm also an entertainer at the same time. More than anything else, I just want to refine my skills. You know, striking, grappling, wrestling, every aspect of it, and promotion as well.
My next question is for Baba Yaga. Now, Shadrack, we saw you at the press conference with Steven Gus Gonzalez sharing words as well, asking about the intentions of the fight, how this fight was going to go, and we just heard that you guys got the performance bonus. How was it going up against someone with that much experience and coming out on top?
Good fight, good fight. As expected, he's a veteran of the sport. I mean, I was in Matrix watching that guy fight, and we were sitting on the TV like the EFC Africa. I was watching the guy like kick people's ass, and obviously, I can't show up at the press conference and show so much respect. At the end of the day, I'm a warrior. So at the press conference, I'm just showing my fighting spirit. No matter what I feel about the guy, I wanted to move him, and that's what's going to happen. So we stepped in the cage and obviously proved to me why I truly believe that every martial artist that dares to step in that cage deserves all the respect in the world. Because in there, he was a monster in his own right. And he pushed me in a limit where I had to dig deeper to find the victory. But I was never in doubt of my victory. As I said, if you're not killing me, I'm winning.
Next question to Graham Cartmel, the matchmaker, about Baba Yaga. Now, we've seen him beat a former contender in the EFC Grand Prix, Featherweight Grand Prix. What next for him? Is he at that level now to either be a title contender, or does he need more fights? What next for Baba Yaga?
I think the plan is he's not going to get a shot now. I think he still needs a little bit more action in the hexagon. I'd like to see him, okay, so we were trying to line up Billy Oosthuizen in order to fight Ken Sikuletu. Ken's out with an injury. So we need to keep Billy active. And that actually might be a fight for a #1 contender spot that we look at and pitch to Billy for him to fight Nyemba. I think that's a great fight.
Question for Oswaldo. So you were coming off of a loss. You had a lot to prove, and you certainly did that tonight. How are you feeling after your victory?
Graças a Deus estou a me sentir bem. Estou bem. Tive que trabalhar muito, refazer os meus erros e trabalhei bastante, não para deixar desmerecer o adversário. Muito bom, um cara top. Como me sinto ótimo que eu trabalhei.
He said that he had to work very hard because the errors that he committed in the past fight. So then he found out the type of opponent that he had. So he gave a lot of credit to his opponent. He helped him prepare even more. So and he's feeling very happy about it. So yeah.
One more question for Benedito. Representing Team Angola, we know that Angola has a lot of premier fighters here in the EFC. Do you feel that more Angolan fighters should come to the EFC and fight, and they'll achieve success?
Já é muito bom. E obrigado pela organização, pela oportunidade já por aqui, né? por eu estar. Se vir mais angolanos, para mim é bem-vindo. Fico feliz, porque vamos trabalhar junto e vamos desenvolver mais nossa modalidade. E, acima de tudo, trazer mais título para nós, para Angola. Então, representar Angola, para mim é um orgulho. Obrigado.
Yeah, he's feeling very happy and he's thanking EFC for the opportunity. And he really wants more Angolans to come here, so which will mean we'll work together towards eventually having an Angolan champion once again. So yeah.
Quick one. Do you think you'll be the first Angolan champion in the EFC?
Ele está perguntando se achas que vai ser campeão angolano no UFC.
Claro que sim. Claro que sim.
Yes, of course.
The next question for Rush Hour, Lihle Ngamntwini. Now, you had a very tough fight against Kelvin Smith. It was a great fight, 3 rounds all the way. Do you think that your next fight should be for the title after beating Kelvin? Or what do you think is next for you? Because that was a tough fight, and the flyweight division is stacked. There's a lot of guys in there. What do you think you want next?
Man, as you can see, man, it's on a craft. I'm not in a rush. I'm just gonna go back home and chat with the team, then know what's next coming. I'm not in a rush.
You mentioned going back home. Now that's PE, that's on the coast. Did coming up to fight at altitude affect your fight in any way? Because we did see you maybe lose a bit of steam in your last fight, but this one you managed to get all the way and win the fight. Does the altitude affect you coming all the way from PE?
Yeah, it does. That's why we come here like a bit early. So we make sure we climatize here for 2 weeks before fighting.
My question is for Zakir. Zakir, you come out extremely fired up. There is a wild, faraway look in your eyes as you're walking into the hexagon. If you could just tell us anything you'd be comfortable with about what your thought process is as you're walking in, what are you thinking about? What is your preparation pre-fight? Because we've seen it actually at every fight. It's almost as if you enter another state on your way in there.
I think that's you hit the nail on the button. You almost go into another state. Fighting for me is I would say hypnotic. It's as close as I am in that cage to God. I bear myself to him beforehand. When I walk in there, I fight quite literally to leave my life on the line, and I'm prepared with my affairs accordingly. So going out there with the people that mean the most to me, that I love the most, being in the building, being around me, I walk in with a goodbye in there, and I fight with that. And in there, that's why I'm often walking out and there's a tear in my eye, because inside I'm truly happy. If I go, so be it.
Would that explain the smile you had on your face when you were putting the shoulders into Shea Good when you were on the top?
Yeah, like I said, fighting is a weird thing. It's a very intimate thing. When you make that contact with another human being, it's not a normal thing to do, to want to have to hurt someone. So to go into that state of mind, you're in like an altered state. You're in a different subconscious where you not normally want to be. That inner darkness, that thing inside of you, it's one time where you can let it be free, and I can be wild, and I can let my ego be there, and that animalistic side comes out. So it's not something that I'm proud of outside the cage, but I'm in the cage. It's the demons inside that come out.
Just a last thing on this maybe slightly strange topic, but you seem so almost in a trance, but at the same time utterly controlled. Is there anything to say about the difference between the two and what you need to do to stay in the right frame of mind?
Yeah, I think with fighting, there's a ebb and flow in your emotion. If you're chasing win, it gives you a kind of topsy-turvy, because when you're winning in the fight, you're up, and when you're losing, you're down, and then you chase this emotional roller coaster. But when I'm in there, I'm just there to experience and to feel and to put pain. That's the goal, and winning is a byproduct.
This one is directed to you, Graham. At the end of Badat's fight, we saw Peace walking into the cage. Was that a coincidence, or is that a potential matchup?
Yeah, so this division's a very a very strong division within EFC. Welterweight has always been a strong division. And when an opportunity comes that we need to do, we're going to do it. And we tried to do peace a while before this fight. Didn't quite work out. And when I interviewed him up here between all the fights, he said to me, listen, I'm keen. I'm ready to fight for the title. Put me in there. I'll do a face-off. So it was pretty natural. Zach wasn't keen. He said to me, I'm gonna destroy him if he gets in here.
Yeah, I'm not in the safest frame of mind to bring people
100%.
around me at that point.
I mean,
so,
and we understand
give me
that.
a minute to cool
No,
down.
Fully. I just said, no, you're a professional, you'll be fine. And then he was smiling with it. But the reality is that's the next natural contender. He's earned the shot. He's a great contender, and I think it'll be a huge fight for the organization. All right, and that concludes EFC 124. Catch us, EFC 125, 3rd of July. We've got Luke Michael versus Shadrack Njuga for the middleweight title. We've got Hanro Botha, Ayanda Zwane, and we've got Christopher Ravens and Adama Diop, heavyweight #1 contender fight. That's going to be big.
What do you think of Luke Michael's performance?
Massive drama here at the main event of EFC 92. I've never seen anything like it.
I'm not impressed.
Now, surely this is the finish.
Got knocked out in his last fight and now he beat Kulukani Klonga. What's that guy's record?
Oh, here we go.
Who are you?
You did nothing.
Who are you? You came into the game
Shadrack
last year.
Blamby.
Bro, I respect your coach, Chris Bright.
This is nothing personal. Okay? Don't get agitated right now. The tension
What are you
is
gonna do
so
about
bad,
it?
mate.
What are you
Calm
gonna do
down.
about it if I get agitated? You got nothing, bro. Beat someone relevant, then come show me what you got.
Shadrack Njuga will be fighting for the middleweight title against Luke Michael.
And you got nothing, bro.